fighter jet just became obsolete. Not in 10 years, not in 5. Right now, a machine exists that takes off with no runway, flies over 2,000 miles without a pilot, lands on a trailer in the middle of the ocean, and costs a fraction of what your tax dollars spend on a single F-35. And the US military already wants it. This is not a concept. This is not a prototype sitting in someone's garage. On October 21, 2025, in Washington, D.C., a defense company called Shield AI pulled back the curtain on something that changed the rules of air combat permanently. It is called the XBAT. And once you understand what it can do, you will never look at a traditional fighter jet the same way again. Today, we are counting down the top 5 capabilities of the XBAT drone that are flat out shocking when you stack them against conventional jets. Every single one of these is backed by real data, real engineering, and real military interest. Stay with us, because number 2 on this list is something even defense insiders were not expecting. Drop a comment right now and let us know, do you think AI pilots will eventually replace human fighter pilots completely? Type yes or no. We read every single comment. Let's set the stage first, because context matters here. Shield AI is not some startup operating out of a basement. This is a San Diego-based defense technology company founded in 2015 by Ryan Sang, Brandon Sang, a former Navy SEAL, and Andrew Ryder. As of March 2026, the company carries a valuation of about $12.7 billion. They have been contracted by the U.S. Air Force, U.S. Special Operations Command, and foreign militaries. These are serious people doing serious work. The XBAT is their most ambitious project yet. It belongs to what the Pentagon calls a Group 5 unmanned aerial system, the heaviest class of drone, with a maximum gross takeoff weight exceeding 1,320 pounds. To give you a real comparison, most surveillance drones you hear about in the news are Group 2 or Group 3. Group 5 is fighter territory. That is the category where the XBAT lives. It sits 26 feet long, has a wingspan of 39 feet, and packs a fighter-class engine. And it does something no fighter jet in history has ever done the way the XBAT does it. Which brings us straight to capability number 1. Capability number 1, no runway, no airfield, no problem. Here is something that most people do not think about when they picture air warfare. Every fighter jet the U.S. military operates, the F-16, the F-15, the F-35, needs a runway. A long, flat, carefully maintained, heavily protected runway. And that runway is a target in a real conflict, especially one in the Pacific against a near-peer adversary. Enemy missiles can reach those runways in minutes. Take out the runway, and you ground your entire Air Force. Military planners have known about this vulnerability for decades. It is one of the biggest strategic nightmares the Pentagon faces. The XBAT eliminates that problem completely. It launches vertically, straight up, from a rail-mounted trailer. It transitions into horizontal flight like a normal jet. It completes its mission. Then it comes back and lands vertically tail first right back onto the same trailer. No runway, no airfield, no fixed base needed at all. 3 XBATs can fit into the same deck space. 3 XBATs can fit into the same deck space that one conventional fighter jet takes up. That means you can park them on a ship, on a remote island, on a forward deployed ground position, anywhere a trailer can go. The XBAT
But speed isn't just about
too.
reaction.
Shield AI confirmed that 5 launch trailers are planned per aircraft, giving operators maximum flexibility, and announced in November 2025 is specifically engineered to handle those vertical takeoff and landing maneuvers. This is not experimental guesswork. The hardware has already passed ground validation testing. For our men and women in uniform, this is a game changer, because right now, protecting an airbase requires enormous resources, manpower, and infrastructure. With the XBAT, that entire vulnerability just disappears. Capability number 2, an AI pilot that has already proven itself in combat conditions. Here is the part that stopped defense insiders cold. When companies pitch AI-piloted aircraft, the usual response from military professionals is skepticism. Talk is cheap. AI systems in lab conditions fail constantly in the real world. So when Shield AI says the XBAT is piloted by artificial intelligence, the first question anyone should ask is, has this AI actually flown in real conditions? Has it been tested where communications get jammed, where GPS goes dark, where the enemy is actively trying to scramble your signals? And the proof is already in the record. Shield AI's autonomy software is called Hivemind. It has logged over 130 sorties on the company's smaller VTOL drone, which is already a program of record for the U.S. Marine Corps and is actively used on Coast Guard national security cutters. Hivemind has also been demonstrated on the General Atomics MQ-20 Avenger, a much larger combat drone, during Exercise Orange Flag, where it successfully executed simulated air combat maneuvers. Most critically, the U.S. Air Force has already used Hivemind to fly the X-62A Vista, an experimental F-16 modified to fly itself. Former Air Force Secretary Frank Kendall actually climbed into that aircraft and flew in it in May 2024 while it was being controlled by AI software. That is not a simulation. That is a real aircraft with a real senior official on board trusting in AI to keep it in. The XBAT puts that same Hivemind system. Former Air Force Secretary Frank Kendall actually climbed into that aircraft and flew in it in May 2024 while it was being controlled by AI software. That is not a simulation. That is a real aircraft with a real senior official on board trusting in AI to keep it in the sky. If communications go down, the XBAT keeps flying. It does not freeze. It does not crash. It adapts. That capability alone puts it in a completely different league from any traditional fighter jet. Now, before we get to the next 3 capabilities, and trust us, they keep getting more impressive. If you are finding this valuable, go ahead and smash that like button right now and subscribe. Less than 2% of viewers ever subscribe. Now, before we get to the next 3 capabilities, and trust us, they keep getting more impressive. If you are finding this valuable, go ahead and smash that like button right now and subscribe to this channel. Less than 2% of viewers ever subscribe, and it takes less than 3 seconds. Your support keeps us bringing you content like this, the real, detailed defense stories that actually matter. Capability number 3, 2,000 plus nautical miles of range while fully armed. Range is everything in modern air warfare. Those are exceptional aircraft. But the XBAT is targeting a range of over 2,000 nautical miles fully armed, fully loaded without needing a tanker aircraft to refuel it mid-mission. 2,000 nautical miles. That is not a typo. Put it in perspective. From a ship or island position in the Western Pacific, that range means the XBAT could strike targets deep into contested territory and return from positions that an enemy would never think to target. Because those positions do not look like air bases. They look like a truck parked on a dock. Inside Unmanned Systems reported that Shield AI is actually targeting 2,300 miles as the operational range figure. The engine powering this, the GE F110 GE129, is the same family that drives the F-15 Eagle and F-16 Fighting Falcon. It is not an experimental engine. It is a battle-proven power plant that has been in service for decades, now mated to a platform that uses it far more efficiently because there is no human pilot on board eating into weight, life support, or cockpit space. The weight savings from removing the pilot translate directly into more fuel, more weapons, and more range. And because it can refuel and rearm from a trailer rather than a full airbase, the XBAT's effective operational reach extends even further when you factor in forward deployment flexibility. Capability number 4, stealth and multi-role firepower that rivals the F-35. Here is a number that got a lot of attention in defense circles. Shield AI confirmed that the XBAT's internal weapons bay is roughly the same size as the F-35's internal bay. That means it can carry many of the same weapons as America's most advanced crewed stealth fighter, air-to-air missiles, precision strike munitions, and potentially long-range weapons like the RASM. The internal bay matters for one critical reason: stealth. The moment an aircraft hangs weapons on external pylons, its radar signature increases dramatically. Every bump, every pylon, every weapon pod reflects radar energy back to the enemy. The F-35 was specifically designed to carry weapons internally on its most dangerous missions for exactly this reason. The XBAT follows the same philosophy: internal weapons carriage for stealth operations, external hardpoints when higher payload is the priority and stealth is less critical. On top of that, the aircraft carries a tailless, low observable airframe, meaning its shape is specifically engineered to minimize radar returns. The folding wings allow it to be transported and stored compactly, then deployed rapidly. And the modular payload bays mean the same aircraft can fly as a strike platform one day, an electronic warfare aircraft the next, and an intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance asset the day after. The U.S. military has long sought aircraft that can do multiple jobs without requiring separate specialized platforms. The XBAT delivers that. One aircraft, one trailer, multiple mission sets, no runway. Defense Agenda noted the performance ceiling targets above 50,000 feet, putting it beyond the reach of many surface-to-air threats. Combined with its stealth design, that means enemy radar operators are looking for something that is both high up and quiet on radar. That is a very hard target to find. Capability number 5, the cost advantage that changes the math of modern warfare. Everything we have talked about so far would be impressive on a platform that costs as much as an F-35. But here is the number that fundamentally changes the strategic calculation. The F-35 costs approximately $110 million per aircraft. The XBAT is priced at roughly $27 million. That is less than 1/4 the cost of an F-35. For the price of one F-35, the U.S. military could field 4 XBATs, each with the same stealth weapons bay, each with Hivemind AI, each with 2,000 plus nautical miles of range, each deployable without a runway. In modern warfare, numbers matter. Swarming tactics, saturation strikes, distributed operations, all of these concepts depend on having enough assets to be in multiple places at once. A force built around $27 million autonomous platforms looks very different from one built around $110 million crewed jets. You can absorb losses. You can replace platforms faster. You can surge capability without surging costs. Air Force Secretary Troy Mink was reported in late 2025 as expressing a preference for lower-cost collaborative combat aircraft, specifically because high cost has always been the limiting factor in fielding larger numbers of advanced platforms. The XBAT fits that requirement directly, and it is not just the US military paying attention. The UK Royal Navy issued a formal request for information in October 2025, dubbed Project Vanquish, seeking exactly this kind of autonomous, sea-based drone capability, with completion targeted by end of 2026. The XBAT was built for requirements like that. Shield AI fully expects to begin vertical takeoff and landing flight testing before the end of 2026, with full operational validation locked in for 2028. Production is targeted for 2029. The company is so committed to moving fast that at the Sea Airspace 2026 convention, officials openly acknowledged they fully expect to lose at least one prototype in testing. They are not slowing down to be safe. They are pushing hard to get this into the hands of warfighters as quickly as possible. The XBAT is not a weapon that replaces human pilots out of disrespect for the men and women who fly. It is a force multiplier built specifically to protect them. By putting unmanned platforms into the most dangerous missions the first day strikes, the deep penetration runs, the high-threat electronic warfare corridors, the XBAT absorbs risk that would otherwise fall on a human being strapped into a cockpit. That is the honest military calculus behind all of this. No runway dependency. A proven AI pilot that works through jamming and communication blackouts. Over 2,000 nautical miles of combat range while fully armed. F-35 class stealth and weapons capacity. And all of it at roughly $27 million per aircraft. Those 5 capabilities, stacked together, represent something that no single fighter jet in the world currently offers as one package. The XBAT is not just a drone. It is a new category of air power. And if you served, if you have a family member in uniform, if you care about the men and women protecting this country, having every possible advantage, this is the kind of development that should matter to you. If you made it this far, you are exactly the kind of viewer this channel exists for. Hit that like button and subscribe so you never miss a defense story worth knowing. The next video goes even deeper into the future of autonomous combat systems, and it is one you will not want to skip.